Beautiful morning and welcome to Daybreak Africa on KAFTAN television, where we imagine a beautiful world. My name is Odunayo.
And my name is Joshua. You're welcome once again to Daybreak Africa on this beautiful week, which happens to be the first day of the week for many of you.
Yes, welcome back from that long break.
Alright, welcome back to the show. If just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa, and yes, it's time to go straight to our discussions for today. Yeah, today is not going to take the usual trajectory that some of our days takes on Daybreak Africa, but then, you know, health is a very important discussion in the society today, because as we speak, the society experiences a lot of stress and a lot of things when it comes to the current lifestyles we have in society. So definitely health is a very, very, very important sector of society, somewhere which we need to pay strong attention towards. And yes, the guest who is going to be discussing with us today actually is one who I'm very happy to have in the studio with me, because logically, if you look at the topic of our discussions today, we are also looking at ways to improve our general well-being using science and technology. And in the studio with us today is our researcher. She's also an inventor, an educationist, a scientist. And yes, I'm very happy because she recently invented a device for automated production of pack hair and extraction of other nutraceutical for medicinal purpose, actually, though I don't really understand or know the total meaning of all this, because, you know, not as if I don't know much of medicine, but then there are some levels of medicine where I know I'll just have to hand over to my guest to just do the total explanations for us today. But definitely sit tight, because in the studio with us today is none other else than Dr. Cecilia Oluwamodupe. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome to the show, man.
Thank you
It's
very
good to have you here.
Yeah, it's good to have
Nice
you
to be
actually.
here,
And I'm liking the outfits, the design, the
Thank
calmness,
you very
the
much.
steez and all that. Though that's Gen Z language actually. So
It's my pleasure of being here.
So in case for anything I missed out in the introduction about you, maybe you can do the full introduction yourself about yourself.
Yes, because the part of that invention, I want to hear more.
Okay. Thank you very much, and it's nice to be here. Like I said, you've already introduced me. I'm Dr. Cecilia Oluwamodupe, and I'm an inventor. I'm a scientist. I'm an academic, and also I have knowledge of university administration.
Wow.
So I studied biochemistry.
Wow.
I have my first degree, second degree, and PhD in biochemistry.
Wow.
Then I specialize on pharmaceutical biochemistry research. For the past 15 years, I've been carrying out research on pharmaceutical biochemistry, where I major on understanding the how chemical components in the body interact with drugs. And this is actually very essential for us to be able to know how how biochemical processes underpin diseases, in order for us to be able to design and formulate drugs that will address
The whole issue.
the whole disease conditions in the body. So along the line, I also look into the fact that there are so many disease conditions in Nigeria that can be prevented by lifestyle, or by how, if we are able to control the background knowledge of what we consume. So I expand the scope of my research not only to drug design, but also to look at the to look at the background. How can I help the humanity, especially Nigerian, to be able to live a better life in order to avoid some diseases? You know, I always tell people that majority of Nigeria die cheap deaths. You know, I call it cheap death because there are so many disease conditions that could be prevented.
Like?
For example, when you talk of diabetes,
Okay.
type 2 diabetes can actually be prevented because it's majorly as a result of lifestyle. Do you understand?
Yes.
So if you understand, if you live right, eat right, you may not come down with it. But if you don't have the understanding, the background understanding of what to do, how to live, what to eat, then you're bound to come down with it. And when you now come down with it also, if you don't have a good management system, then it will get to the complications of diabetes will set in, and the next thing is death. I've seen people in Asia, in America, that have been living with diabetes for 40-50 years, just like because they were able to, they know what to do,
We're able to manage
they're
it.
able to manage it. Now, coming back to my research, I now look at, okay, in 2016, my research team discovered a component from plant material. I actually took the plant from Nigeria to India to research on. And I was able to extract out of that plant, a compound that when we use it to treat a diabetic model mice, that plant was able to regenerate a pancreatic islet that has been destroyed by diabetes.
Wow.
I wouldn't know if you understand that.
Well, because pancreas.
Yes, pancreas is actually the major organ that controls how insulin is being secreted and how sugar in the body is being metabolized. So when people come down with type 2 diabetes or even type 1 diabetes, it is because the pancreas could not function well again, or the pancreas has been destroyed. You know, type 1 diabetes is a different type of diabetes than autoimmune diseases. So when the pancreatic islet is being destroyed, damaged, when the Langerhans of the pancreatic islet is being damaged, then the pancreas will not be able to secrete enough insulin, right? Now, when a patient has now come down to that level that the pancreas is being destroyed, there is no drug for now to regenerate that pancreas. But I was able to discover a compound from our Nigerian plants that when used,
we just look around.
Yes, that's what I was saying, that you know, when we use it to treat, we got that pancreas recovered back to normal. That was 2016. Then it dawned on me that if we could continue, drug design is in different stages. Yeah, so at that stage, we get that clue that obviously this compound is present in this plant and it can do this. Then we could continue working on it. Okay, that is a stage. Then moving on, I got another plant that is even among the one that people consume majorly, but there's no how you can consume enough that will make it a nutraceutical. Okay. Do you understand? There's no how you can consume enough that will make it a pharmaceutical product, except it's been extracted out and now formulated to a drug. Then I now look back again. There's this condiment that we use in Nigeria. In fact, Africa, because I was in Uganda, I realized they use it too. Yes. African foods, they relate. Yes. So then, having discovered that this compound is present in this condiment, then I look at method of production. Is the archaic method, the old method, and people that produces it are reducing because of the stress that it involves and the crude method that it involves, and on daily basis people consume it. And then we have done a lot of research on it, and we have realized that there are so many compounds that are present in that are very good as medicine for us. Then I look at how can I make this production easier so that our generation can embrace the production, and then it could go around better and give a better packaging than it used to be. Then I started working on I look at the whole process. Then I started looking at how can this process be automated? How can this process be easier? How can we scale up production? How can we reduce stress and time? Then 2 years ago, I arrived at a product that, starting from harvesting from the raw material, initially the production takes minimum 10 to 12 days. 12 days, yeah. In the method that is available, between 10 to 12 days. Now, and I've got a device that could reduce that production time, to save that time to less than 24 hours. Wow. From 10 to 12 days to less than 24 hours. And then that could produce without human effort. It's just automated. Pour it inside and wait for system automation to get to the final product. Wow. This has been able to reduce timing. It has been able to remove impurities, yeah. It has been able to reduce labor and then scale up the production and then giving us a very decent product. And after several trials and going to back and forth, we're able to get to this point. Now, not only stopping at getting the final product now, the final product will be used as condiment, but we now move ahead from being a condiment now to extraction of the druggable agent inside it.
Wow.
This is a lot.
That's a lot, actually.
So that is what we did, and we submitted for patent in 2023.
And from patent,
so we submitted for patent 2023, and the patent was approved by our president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu Asiwaju, on 26th of May 2025.
Wow.
So that is the latest development we
on
have
the old production.
on the old
Actually,
production.
I want to ask some personal question, if you don't mind, because you are motivating me already. Like woman to woman, I'm
Woman to woman,
motivated.
Oh.
Yes, because I know that you're married, right? Yes. How were you able to? Because you mentioned Uganda the other time, you mentioned India, and I'm like, wow. How did you do it? How, you're a family woman. How? How did you do it? Your family, your kids, your husband.
In this world of feminism that...
Seriously, that women are not giving down.
Part.
How did you do all of this?
Thank you very much. In life, know what you want. Once you first of all know your purpose in life, to pursue it will be easy. And then women are multitask. That's our nature. Multitasking is not an alien to any woman. Starting from raising children, you can back your child,
still be
be
cooking,
doing assignments, be cooking, and still be attending to the father also.
But these Gen Z ladies don't know that.
So yeah, that is how.
Please go there.
So multitasking is our nature as a woman, and managing home plus career is not. It's challenging, but we were able to adjust and manage both. If are not even both now, all together. So at least we can boldly say that God has been helping to be able to multitask and achieve goal. And then let me also say this: I got married to an academic also. He's also a professor of organic chemistry, so he understands what it takes to be an academic. And then God helped us to be able to manage both the home, the children, the career, and we traveled everywhere to actually look at how things are done. We were in India for some times to research, because when you are talking of research, go to India.
No, they are very good at that.
Do you understand?
Very
especially when you are talking of a pharmaceutical research, a research that has to do with production of druggable agent, compound, extraction of compound from plants. I've been winning some international grants.
Yeah.
So the first winning was 2016, and that took me to India for some months, and then carrying out research there was very pleasant because the environment was conducive for it. And then we have all that it takes, and I was able to use that grant I won to discover a component that, in fact, I was asked to give the patent to the Indian government at that time, but I felt I'm coming back to
my country.
Nigeria,
that's the spirit.
So when I came back in that 2016, I think the newspaper in Ondo State carried it that a researcher won 2 international grants at the same time, like that. I remember a newspaper called The Political. Maybe it's not in existence again, I don't know. So God has helped us to be able to manage both, because I always tell the younger ones that your career, your home, they supposed to work together to push each other. They shouldn't work apart. They are supposed to blend each other. Marry a man that understands your purpose and can also work with you to achieve that purpose.
And also marry a woman that understands.
And also vice versa. Yes, vice versa.
Very important. But then let's go straight back to I'm sorry, I'm taking it off the home now. Back to the research.
Yes.
Now the thing is, for someone like me, I've always, I was arguing with someone 2 days ago, thankfully 2 days ago, that there is so much in Africa that we've not discovered. There's so much in the world generally that we have not actually discovered. I was even making jest of someone that was praying that day and said, all this your prayer, you are praying, and you are praying in tongues. Why not go back and do research? There is more wisdom in the world system than we are doing. And one of the things that I said there was because we were talking about herbal medicines, some of those things that we don't count, because a friend of mine got sick, and through herbal means, he was able to get treatments that could cure, at least to a very large extent, make him feel more better than some of these conventional drugs that we'll take. And I asked someone there, I said, how is it that we are not researching more into these things, you people? Especially there's this disparity between science and, let me not call it, let's say traditional science, like the traditional kind of sciences, the orthodox kind of patterns. And I said, you call these things dangerous to health, but they have good effects on the body too as well. Sometimes the only problem the only argument you people have against it is the fact that the contents, the volume, it should be administered to people. Why not you guys open these things up to us and all those kind of things? Now, you said you did a research, you found out something that is even in a condiment that we all eat in Africa, and we never knew that it has lots of health benefits to us. Now, what can you say about the research module of the African Society in finding out things that can actually benefit our health at this particular time?
Thank you very much. This has been my passion over the year, because the other time, January last year, I was in University of Vienna. I was invited as his guest speaker to talk about natural products as a means for production of medicine. And basically, when you look at all the plants that got created, all the medicinal plant that has been identified, 75% of all the medicinal plants that has been identified resides in Africa.
Wow.
But unfortunately, we left nature. We were pursuing synthetic. It is not really because of ignorance, but because the slavery mentality, I want to say, because a lot of us believe that if you don't do it the way the white does it, it is not yet the right thing. And that is what is actually keeping us in the cooler till tomorrow. Now, when I talk about pharmaceutical biochemistry, what pharmaceutical biochemist does is to understand the biochemical process that underpin a disease, then gets a druggable agent to treat that disease, majorly from extracts. And where do you get extract? From natural products. It could be plants, it could be marine, it could be any other source. Now, coming back to your question, if you look at Nigeria as a country, there are so many people that are advertising they can cure this, they can cure that with a natural product.
Especially in the bus stops.
But as a matter of fact, I don't blame them. It is because those that know the right thing are not doing it. So they pick it up. They leverage on we that are supposed to be doing it and we are not doing it right. So that's why currently, like in my lab now, we are working on 3 major drugs that is already getting to what do you call it now? About to enter markets now, commercialization. We have an extract for erectile dysfunction, we have for diabetes, and we have a natural supplement for all family. Now all these are purely from nature, from plants. But I realize that when you go to the market, the open market, people that claim that they have cure for this, cure for that, if you get those material and bring them to lab and analyze, you will see a lot of things that are present in it. You'll be wondering, why are people this
wicked with themselves? And I'm even pitting a lot of
and other disguise that is a natural product, but they are not natural products. That's just the truth. And this is really harming a lot of our youths, you know. So we are the awareness is getting better that our natural products are better. And then if the problem people had in the initial is that people like us that are professional are not taking that responsibility, because the challenge is about dosage and the duration, you know, and this is the problem we are solving. Whichever medication, whichever extract, whichever drug component that comes from our research unit, you should be sure that there's the medication, the dosage
here
is there, and then the shelf life is there, the storage, all the details, pharmacological information will be present. So another challenge is funding.
Okay.
You know, like this patent that I had now, it's a self-sponsored research. I funded it. Although I have funding for other products. For example, by June 25, this month, June 25, we'll be launching a product in Abuja with international organizations and companies that want to partner, investors will be there at Innovate Hub Abuja. We just provide solution in the area of Gari production.
Wow.
That will also be patented.
My favorite food.
What solution?
That will also be patented.
Wow.
That project is sponsored by Science Granting Council Initiative. We have $50,000 for that project. Do you understand? And we're able to, when we go around Nigerians, we ask questions, because the idea is that use Nigerian technology to solve Nigerian problem. That is how we can develop our economy. We should look inward. We should use our technology to solve our problem.
But no one trusts our technology.
We should start trusting our technology, because it is the best. You know, our technology will made with our own ingenuity, our own to put into consideration our uniqueness. Do you understand? For example, a Chinese man cannot provide a solution to our problem without coming here to ask questions. And we'll give that information to them, they take it up and go and boom, before you know it, they start bringing it back again at exorbitant price. But why don't we ask that question within ourselves and provide solution? Like what I'm saying, we provide solution in the area of Gari frying technology, which will soon circulate Nigeria.
Because I know the usual Gari
frying. Thank you very much. Which we have discovered that it causes eye problem, wrinkles to the fryer. And then there's no how you drink Gari that you don't have small sand after the drinking.
Sand
impurity and stone. Impurity, you know, the people that are frying it, we interview some of them, they say they spend like 10 hours frying Gari in a day. Some will say after they go and be swallowing medication, you know, body pain and all those, and yet they cannot still meet up demand. You know, if you get to some shopping malls in Lagos and Port Harcourt and stuff like that, you find imported Gari.
Yeah, true.
It's embarrassing.
Imported Gari. How does that
Do you understand? Work? It's embarrassing. With all cassava that we have in Nigeria, it is because cassava is available, the production is not enough. And where they are having limitation is frying system. How many can one person fry? At the same time. So we our research team, we have researchers from 5 different countries. We got that grant, and we're able to, with the help of our collaborators, Innovate Hub Abuja and TED Fund, we're able to provide a frying chamber. That all you need to do is get your pressed Gari, throw it inside it, and set time and go and sit down.
Set timer.
Really?
Set timer and go and sit down.
Make man more lazy.
And you use solar. So you want people to labor and die. And do you know that will also help people like you to go into that business.
Yeah, true. Because
many
Nigerians don't want to go into it because of
the stress. Because inside this your chamber, you can just put the fryer there. It won't generate heat outside, and nobody will even know you are frying Gari. The next thing you see Gari pouring out.
Wow.
Gari Jebu, Gari whatever.
So you drink Gari.
This has been the target. The target is academics have moved from publication to get promotion to invention, innovation to develop economy. Industry should depend on academics to function. We should be able to give them technology to strive with. This is what happened in the countries we call developing countries. Do you understand? So, like this invention now, this innovation that we just got patent on, we are looking for collaborators, we are looking for investors to invest into it so that we can mass produce and it go around the country. Thank you.
Well, actually, we'll come back to this discussion because this thing you said now that we need to use inventions actually to grow our economies,
drive our economy,
and not just use these practicals and theoreticals and not the practicals, theoretical means to gain promotions. Because you see, this thing you said right now, it's one of the things that made me decide that I'm not going back to the school system for a long time. Because the Nigerian school system depressed me. My project, I saw it going to the incinerator after after my hard work of months and all those kind of things. So definitely I said, if this is what you are doing with my lifelong work, I ain't coming back again. But then we'll come back to that. Let's take Go Start. Go Start is one of the things that makes you, learn a lot about business. Try as much as possible to do something with what you have at hand at this particular time. And I'm very sure that after Go Start, you'll be inspired to at least do something with your life and not wait for that big break. Sometimes the big break starts from the little steps you take. So here is Go Start. Go Start motivate you. And after Go Start, we'll come back to our discussion, draw some conclusions and all that, and then move on. Thank you. So stay with us right back. All right, welcome back to the show. If you just joined us, it's still Daybreak Africa. And yes, I hope you enjoyed Go Start. I hope you learned something. And please, I hope you're going to do something about what you learned on Go Start. But then it's time to go back to our discussions for today. We've been discussing health talk-wise, improving your health with science and technology. And yes, Dr. Cecilia Oluwamodupe had been, I would have used the word busting my brain, but I don't want to be total Gen Z today. So let's use opening our minds, enlightening us on some of the patterns, some of the current innovations and inventions that are going on even in the medical fields in Nigeria, which you're not even very aware of. Thank God it's coming to your notice this morning and all that, especially some of the things that has to do with our natural resources here, even in Africa, that we don't even know are very beneficial to our health. Now, you said something about some disease that can be managed actually with just few knowledge and proper lifestyles and all that. So I want to talk a bit of lifestyle when it comes to medicals in Africa specifically. One of the things you talked about when you talked about some of the projects you're working on are even things like that could solve problems along lines like erectile dysfunction and some of those things. And I remember the report last week. It was one of my medical practitioners here in Ondo that gave me that report and said, very soon, people will begin to have lots of liver problems and kidney problems. The problem was I lost a neighbor to kidney problems. Very gentle lady. I never knew she was dealing with such and all that. And that was coming after just a few months after losing a close friend to the same issue. And they said, do you know the reason why? There are some of the things, some of the content you people are taking right now that you don't even know, both synthetic drugs and the usual herbs and all that. And they said there are many diseases you can just treat just with proper lifestyle. I remember I was interviewing someone some weeks ago. I remember she began to talk about some of our local foods that were very beneficial to our health, and saying that if you can even take these ones and just maintain proper lifestyle, you will not necessarily need to be seeing a doctor consistently. Naturally you begin to live healthy. I remember studying Ikigai to the Japanese lifestyle and some of those things. Now, if you were to advise an African right now in this economy, where many can't even access food properly, and many are trying to do a lot of things, especially the youths of this generation. One of them was talking about multiple contents they take just because I don't even know why sex has become something that is a big problem with this generation. And was talking about they take this one, they take that one, they take this. They were calling some herbs, and I was like, what's this? Why will you guys take all these things? Because you want to impress somebody and all that. And in the next few years, this doctor was saying, in the next few years, you'll begin to hear of things like this. Don't be shocked. So how do you think we can control ourselves in those aspects? Using some of these things that using lifestyles that really are beneficial. So what advice do you have for a youth that is in this generation trying to live healthy and yet is faced with this lot of challenges at the same time?
Thank you very much. This has been a very big concern for me particularly, because the scenario that the Gen Z presents when it comes to lifestyle is confusing, and at times I wonder who gave them this orientation. Where do they learn it from? Because one, the so-called herbs, I say so-called herb because I've verified most of them, they are not actually herbs.
Wow.
They just package something and use herb to cover up. Do you understand? And then the few that are 50% herbs, it's not all herbs in totality that are wholesome.
Yeah, true.
That's why we at our own research end bring out what is functional inside it and
just do the rest.
and dump the remaining one. Now the Gen Z, or I don't know how you call the
Gen Z actually.
The Gen Z now.
Gen X, Gen Z.
Gen X, Gen Z.
Yeah, they just name themselves anything.
Thank you very much. The awareness of they must use aphrodisiac to impress a woman. At a point when I was asking, how do they get that information? Who said that? I realized that the movies they watch, the discussion they listen to on Facebook and stuff like
TikTok
that. TikTok especially makes them feel. One, we were not actually raised like that. I think I should be a bit different from your generation. I wouldn't know.
I'm not Gen Z. She's Gen Z.
She'll still be.
I'm still a millennial.
A millennial, okay. You are a millennial, okay. Okay, I don't know people that are from 70s. I don't know what you call them.
Those ones are.
Okay, maybe that's my own generation.
Ancestors, that's okay.
Okay, you see, there should be a serious awareness about the negative impact that all these herbs is having on the kidney and the liver of our. In fact, if you look at 40, 50 now, if you put men in their 40, 50, you'll be hearing kidney. It wasn't like that before. It came off from the idea of I must induce myself to impress a woman. Majorly, if you investigate the 70% of kidney problem will be from taking one tincture or the other. You know, tincture is a medication or an extract that is diluted with alcohol to take. It's what is called tincture.
Wow. Oh, so it is not even herbs from
no. It's
just they will just get little, some herbs from
little herbs plus alcohol. Somebody that loves taking alcohol will tell you, I'm not taking alcohol. I'm just taking my medication. It's tincture. So it's just a pretense, you know.
Wow.
And even I was telling somebody that even palm wine that we do drink those days, you can't just drink palm wine again now because it has been mixed up.
A lot of palm wine.
It has been mixed up. So a lot of things that we enjoy naturally before has lost its nature. Has become synthetic, artificial in a way. So let me come down to lifestyle. Our market in Nigeria is an open market. It is not a choice market. But you as a human being, you can create a choice market for yourself. For example, in New Delhi, sometimes I wanted to buy this fast food in KFC. When I enter KFC, I bought the jollof rice in Nigeria, jollof rice, but they don't call it jollof rice. They call it biryani. Wow. I bought biryani, and on the pack of that biryani, it is written boldly, this food contains monosodium glutamate. It must not be given to children below 6, and it must not be given to pregnant women.
Wow.
That is under which condition the government approves that they should be selling it. You know what is called?
The government is very concerned about the market.
Exactly. Do you know what is called monosodium glutamate? That is the major component in all this seasoning that we eat. I don't want to mention product name now, but every seasoning that you add to food to make it sweeter
contains all of those
monosodium glutamate.
That nurse was saying I should be taking natural.
Do you understand? That is monosodium glutamate. And sincerely speaking, the harm that it does to body is too numerous to mention. Starting from migraine, starting from obesity, starting from diabetes, people come down with a lot of diseases because, and you know that we Nigerians, if you have not added
all those spices,
the food will not be sweet.
You will not be. Yes. As I'm sitting here with you, I've not put that in my food in the last 20 years.
Wow, but you eat out.
I eat less outside, very, very less, very, very less. That's why at times when I go to your events to honor you, I know I won't eat there, but I just have to honor you and be there. Because you can't cook what I can eat, and you can't cook my food separately. So you know, it has been my culture, you know, and I was able to raise my children without even them knowing that they add those things to food. And in the various universities now, they cook without it and they are fine with it. And they also eat less outside. What am I trying to say? That is discipline. Because I was just in my MSc class one day and a lecturer was teaching us, and he mentioned it, and I went on to read about it, and I realized that, then why do I poison myself? Why should I continue poisoning my family? And then when I was in one of the labs outside the country one day, I asked them, I've been seeing them bringing different food, you know, and I asked, do you eat this? I asked, because even the noodles they sell, the spice inside noodles in this country I'm talking about does not contain MSG. It tastes differently from our own. So I now asked them, then I said, God gave them enough spices, why should they eat chemical? And they bring it to Nigeria. That was the question. The response.
So Nigeria becomes the dumping
They bring
ground.
it to Nigeria. They've banned it in some of the countries, but they bring it to our country because we don't have choice markets. As long as they write on it that you can take certain percentage, your body can see accommodate certain percentage, then certain percentage at a particular percentage become dangerous, then people start eating. You don't even know whether you have reached the percentage or you have passed the percentage. That is one. Two, the use of this aphrodisiac that I mentioned. Why should a youth believe that? In fact, when you start taking aphrodisiac to impress a girl, he has lost his nature. He won't get that nature. He won't get his naturality back again. And let's assume that somebody at 25 have started inducing himself to impress a woman. What will happen in the next 25 years?
It's gone.
Just look at yourself now. You are still in your vibrant age. Just imagine that you depend on drug. Now add 20 years to your year, you still want to be a man that time. How will you survive? So these are the ignorance. People think, why should you even impress a woman? Do you collect certificates for it? In fact, I remember I was listening to a podcast of one of my friend that I always listen to, Mr. What is it? He said, I am a 1 minute man. What will you do about it?
Okay, tell them.
He said, what will you do about it?
What will you do?
I think I saw that.
He said, yes, that is my generation. But your generation cannot say that. Your generation cannot. Maybe your generation can say
No, we can say that we are very bold and
because it is your life. At the end of the day, you realize that it is your life.
Wow. I'll not die because of somebody.
If you go ahead to take aphrodisiac to impress me, one day you come down with kidney disease, I'll go to another man that I will make to impress me again. After him also come down with another disease.
Another. Oh God.
It's your life, and you realize that nobody, no matter how much I love a person, you cannot enter grave with that person.
Definitely, that's true.
No matter how you cry and you want to go, it's not possible.
Even if he wakes up on the day of the burial,
you will run.
That is why people should be selfish with their health.
Selfish.
Be selfish with your health. When you are selfish with your health, that means everything that has to do with your health is most important to you than impressing me. If you call me that I cannot satisfy you, go to who can satisfy you. Leave me at my level. One day I'll find my mates. Do you understand?
I will move in peace.
I'll find my mate. I will move in peace. Simple. But if you feel, because a woman that complains that you cannot satisfy her, there's no way you can still satisfy, because she will still go again and try another luck somewhere. So why? I don't even know why, sexual activity become the main thing that people now see to feel that somebody is okay. It's a very wrong impression that is going around all the TikTok, all this, and even you see younger ones that you still think they should still be under guidance. They're already speaking wild languages.
Yes. Everything is on TV.
They already TikTok, and then to worsen the case also, our film producer need to still do a lot of adjustment.
Definitely.
Tell them.
They need to do a lot of adjustment, because the impression they create for our youth is not the right thing. Do you understand? The impression they create for our youth is not the right thing. They make you feel, how many times have you done? How many times? They make you feel as if that is the ideal. That's not the ideal. God created that act for pleasure. Among married,
only the married.
that is what God created. It's a pleasure to be enjoyed among the married. But now it has, I know that God will not change his standard.
Definitely it doesn't.
God will not change his standard, but we have actually changed the standard. We have changed it for God. For God.
Very creative being.
Do you understand? And they make it look as if it's a job. that when you finish it, you get certificate. Ha.
I was actually listening to a doctor recently. He said,
It's
as
wrong.
a man, you must have sex 21 times in a month.
Because of prostate cancer.
Yes.
Let's not go there. Let's not go there.
It's wrong.
Leave that.
Do you know that is also
If I'm
wrong?
your wife, you can't touch
don't know
me.
how
You know that is
You
also
can't
wrong.
touch me, guy. If I'm
That
your
is
wife.
also wrong.
Really?
Yes.
Thank God. Oh. Thank God.
People just sell out misconception to gain followers, not actually giving the right information. Why must you say you must have sex
21
times.
Is that the only job you came to this world to do?
21 times in a month.
When celibate survives, celibate survives. They
Celibate
need to
have 90,
celibate need
100.
100. So what do you want to tell them? Do you get it? That's just the fact. We don't need to go to lab to prove it. We have celibate that are actually real celibate.
Monks.
We have monks and they survive. They live 100 and they don't come down with any cancer. It is this sentence, this message you just mentioned now, this statement that makes some youth now to go and say, oh yeah, come.
Let's do.
My doctor said, which doctor?
And they lie a lot about all those kind of
They
things.
lie a lot now.
I feel the problem with many of these youths, or generally the Nigerian population, why you think the Nigeria has become, or why we are saying the fact that Nigeria has become a dumping ground for many of these, like you talked about India, saying that they don't really need much of, they are blessed with much spices.
And they work with
and
it.
they work with it. They don't really need
They don't need their
and all that.
chemicals.
So Nigeria becomes the dumping ground for many of these chemicals, and it's generally accepted. Even when you watch television or maybe cooking programs, food programs, you see them
Let me make you laugh. A woman was having migraine and she has taken every kind of medication for years. Then one day I just told her, I said, can we try something? Stop eating. I mentioned the common name they call it. I said stop eating it and let's see how it works. Probably your system is repelling it. It's not, because that's one of the side effects. Long time migraine. So after 2-3 months, the woman said, for the past, she actually said it January, for the past 3 weeks, she has not seen the sign. This place has not ache her. That could it be what she stopped? I said yes, I'm sure it is.
Wow.
Then she continued her life like that. She was doing very fine. For 6 months she has not talked about the drug and the symptoms. Then one day she came to my office. She said, doctor, I've bought that thing again. I said, why? She said, they say if you buy one packet they'll give you stove. And she doesn't have stove.
It is something that will kill a man.
She has to buy a cake. Do you understand? Because of the advert now and the benefit, because a lot of people, the awareness is getting wider. And a lot of people are doing without it now. So in order to buy people over, they have to package it with something. Buy one get two free, or promotion now. And so it's because they say our market is porous very now, porous, so anything.
That's what I was trying to arrive at, that is we have less information. Is it less information or less research in this country, to a point that, and many of this research that has strong knowledge, strong wisdom, strong facts that is supposed to change our perspectives is not really populated. In fact, it seems foolishness is what trends in the country today and all that. You said something earlier in the discussion where you talked about the fact that you discovered a patent, something in India, and the Indian government almost wanted you to give it to them, but you said you were going to take it back to Nigeria. I wanted to even ask immediately that time then how was the reaction of the Nigerian government to research? Till today, how is our reaction to proper research in the country? Talking about about things like this that you were doing, and bringing us some devices that could ease life for us and make us live more healthy and all that. What do you think Nigeria's perception to research looks like, especially the place of practical research and inventions? Because the truth is, like me, the day I was about submitting my project, and I saw projects in abundance going to the incinerator, and some students saw the same thing. In fact, it was the statement of someone that made me make that decision that I won't stress myself anymore over schooling, because these are technological advancements. These are ideas that you could have picked up and used to at least improve the nation, improve people. And that thing even gives a message to the younger generation that this is the lifestyle we should push towards. But now we have just thrown everybody helter-skelter. We don't like research, we don't like knowledge. hence we have now become a dumping ground for everybody. I think our chief of defense staff that said they should lock the borders is not only to lock these borders, even lock our mental borders too as well. Mentally, our borders is porous. So how do you think we can improve this issue of researching in Nigeria and inventions at this particular time to ensure health-wise we can go far?
Yes, thank you. And one of the area, I know that currently the current government is seriously looking into that dimension, because one of the major bodies that fund research in the university is TED Fund. And now TED Fund is looking at not funding research for publication, but funding innovative research that could control our economy. And then there are other bodies also, but I know much of TED Fund as an academic. And Nigerian, they have also innovation hub and different hubs that researchers can collaborate with. But I think we still have a lot to do in the area of research for economy development, because there's nothing stops us from providing everything we use in Nigeria. And just like you said, where it's supposed to start from, the reason for undergraduate projects is to tap from those little brains, ideas that could be used to formulate something. My first publication emanated from my first degree project. In 2006, my co-supervisor presented it in UK, Birmingham, and it won the Best Presentation Award. And it was published in Punch then, 2006. And it's all about this park here. And from there, I picked the idea and I started working on it. So all these little ideas should not be thrown into dustbin. In fact, what we are saying now is lecturers should not just sit in the office and give to them project topic. It shouldn't be the order of the day. Lecturers and the students should go to the environment, ask questions. What problem are you facing? How can we solve it? That is what is driving our own research in my team. Go out, relate with your environment. Let your environment know that you exist in that place by solving their problem. It is when you solve the problem that they know that university is here. They say, what is the benefit of a university if it's only producing graduates and it's not impacting the environment? So our research orientation should change to, okay, this is Ondo. What do they like doing in Ondo? What is hindering the advancement of that in which they like doing? Do you understand? What disease is common in this environment in Ondo? How can I solve the problem? Are you getting it?
Yeah.
What weather does this problem comes up more? How can I go into it? How can I use my initiative to prefer solution? That is innovation. Are you getting it?
Yes.
So we should go beyond writing projects and dumping it to incinerator. That is actually true. Yes. To a reasonable extent. Do you understand? Because that's the idea now is give students projects that are transformative. Like in my own research, I always say from lab to bedside. Do you understand?
From lab to the bedside.
To the bedside.
There is no other side actually.
Do you understand? Give a project that you move from laboratory to the bedside where the people that need it will use it. Not to just dump it and put it in the shelf. Do you understand? So our government still needs a lot to do. There are so many things that hinder our research. Let me give you an example. I have a collaboration with University of Vienna, Department of Pharmacology there. And I took some plant material from Nigeria to that place to work with my research partner. But in England generally, they will not work on your product, on your biological product from your country without having a protocol they call Nagoya Protocol from that country. That project could not move because I have been trying for the past 2 years to collect that certificate from Nigeria to send to them so that they can start working. For the past year, they felt it is strange because it shouldn't take more than a week or two to get those legal documents ready. But for the past 2 years, I've been on it. And if that legal document is not given to me, they will not work. They will see it as if I smuggle that biological product of my country to them.
Actually, before we go, I would want to like get something right. You mentioned that in Nigeria we have some spices that we can use, natural one, aside from the ones we used to put in our food. And for Gen Z, like us, that we don't know, is it possible for you can you just mention few of those natural spices?
We have a lot of natural spices, starting from ginger, turmeric, cloves, what do you call this thing that you put in your jollof rice or cake like that? Nutmegs. Depending on natural spices, depending on what you want to cook. Do you know that people always ask me, what do I add to my food? Because if you come to my house and eat, if I don't tell you I didn't add those things, you will not know. You that you even eat it in your house, when you eat my own food. So they ask, I said, do you know that I just cook my food? The only exemption is I don't add that particular ingredient. Every other thing is added. And it's all about you working on your taste board, and be ready that I want to be selfish with my health. I don't want to compromise. You can compromise everything in life. Don't compromise your health. Because you are this beautiful because you are healthy. May God not take away our health.
Amen.
If health is out of it, you won't pursue money again. You won't pursue career again. Your target is how to be healthy. So people in Nigeria, we underestimate our health a lot. It is until when it falls on us. And our system is like motor car. Before it breaks down, it gives signs. But a lot of us ignore those signs. Headache is a sign of something. Stomach ache is a sign of something. Joint pain is a sign of something. But we think when you use paracetamol, it goes today, it comes tomorrow, it goes today, it comes tomorrow. You start self-medication is what is killing us most in Nigeria. Before you know, when your head is aching you and you have fever, the next thing you know, the baba to go to shop and
just put it
together. And this is what eventually majority will come down with kidney problem, liver problem. Another thing, let me say this before I go, I complete this section, is your lifestyle also involves hydration. Hydration is one of the most important thing you can do for yourself.
As drinking of water.
And
mind your business.
Drinking of water. Drinking of water. Drink water in the morning when you wake up. Do your exercise. I always recommend for people 30 minutes walk is enough exercise, because majority of your veins are in your legs.
Some of us that do over 1 hour, 2 hours walk a day.
You can do it. It's fine. Just minimum 30 minutes walk, it's fine. And you see the way your system will function well. Hydrate yourself very well. Drink water a lot. It's very good.
So definitely, lady and guys, don't tackle me again.
Drinking of water, taking of fruits, vegetables are what we actually need. When you are eating your pounded yam, put enough vegetables. When you are eating your rice, put enough vegetables. Cultivate the habit of taking things that grow, not things that they manufacture.
Wow.
Cultivate the habit of taking things that grow.
That grows, yes.
Actually, we're rounding off now. So in just 1 minute, what's next for you now that this one has been approved, this new device is created? Are you going into large-scale production? Are you partnering companies? What's the next project? For the next 1 minute, just 1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much. The next project now is partnering.
Okay.
To mass produce and let it get to the hand of the end users. And then then the next, that's just the next thing about the device, mass production, and if I partner, I want companies to partner with us for mass production and commercialization. And then from my research unit, we already have products that is already about to enter into the market.
For free?
That's what I talk about. Then all these natural spices also is part of our product that you get when the time comes. Also for the erectile dysfunction issues, for diabetes, for hypertension, and natural management generally.
God is helping you.
Yeah, God is helping you. Thanks so much, actually, for being a part of this. Really appreciate you, Dr. Cecilia Oluwamodupe.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Woo! It's a lot, actually. And you are a wicked person. You said it for free. For free.
Now.
Before we round up, please, I have somebody gave me a platform.
Okay.
And that is why I'm able to do all this. And I will also acknowledge my Vice Chancellor, Yes, because it is during his tenure in Osun State that the transformative change we are experiencing is happening.
Wow.
He's a transformer. He has helped to change the narrative in Osun State. He has turned Osun State to the university that others can come and learn from.
Wow.
So I want to appreciate my amiable Vice Chancellor, Professor Temi E. Ologunrisha, for the support he has been given and for the way he's transforming OAU State. Thank you very much. And then also to my research team and my family member, my children, my daughter is here.
Wow.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you
your
very
daughter's
much.
your PA. Okay now.
A big shout out to
She's
everyone.
a medical student, so
Wow.
she's learning.
Oh, that's
Mommy's
great, that's great.
footstep.
Maybe she will also be a researcher.
Right, mommy?
Maybe she will find out the cure to cancer too.
Yeah,
and
yes,
something
yes,
like
yes.
that. That's very good. Thanks so much, Ma, once again for being a part of this. I think, in fact, this discussion is one of the things that I think I'm taking home. I will save this. Show my wife. Next time, don't
Don't put,
don't put it.
I'm
Don't
not
try it.
mentioning
Actually,
names.
I'm over 30 now, so definitely.
Yeah, you should be jealous about your
Yeah,
health.
I'm very jealous of my health now.
Yes,
Call me a
very
narcissist,
important.
call me anything, drink
Doesn't
water, mind your
matter.
business.
The
Don't
kidney you've been using for the past 30 years needs to be pampered now. That's just the thing. The liver you've been using for the last 30 years
It
needs to be pampered.
Since you are getting older,
You are
right?
getting older, so you need to pamper them now. You have used them anyhow when you are growing.
Thank you very much, Ma. We
Pamper
really
your
appreciate it.
organ.
So pamper your organs, like she said. That's the
Yeah.
final word. Pamper
Your organs.
But now it's time to go for sport. Let's enjoy sport. After sport, we come back here to say our goodbyes on Daybreak Africa. So please stay with us. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Welcome back from that break, and thanks for staying with us. I hope you enjoy sports and you also enjoyed the discussion we had with our guest earlier. What did you even learn in all of those discussions? Because I learned a lot.
Be jealous with your health.
And be selfish with your health. I think I like that.
It's everything.
That actually reminds me about being selfish with your health. I have someone that does not eat Maggi, like seasoning, adding seasoning to her food. And anytime I go there, I can't eat her food because she's not adding the seasoning. So I feel like this person is selfish. Why don't you just add it because of me? Just add it.
You know one of
this person will not add.
You know one of the things that when the whole thing ended and I remember telling her that I don't know how to take my face off some of those things because honestly, to a very large extent, I think
we are used to
we have been educated into
up.
ignorance. You understand?
That is the
We were
issue.
brought up with it. In fact, there are some ladies. You see, all of you that are doing this cooking on social media, you people are wicked. There was one I saw recently. The amount of those stuffs she puts in her food, I was like, do you want to kill us? You know, it's part of the reason why sometimes I think one of the first things Nigerian youth need to start from is one, detoxification. We need detox from two things. One, our mental romance with those things, and two, detox from the amount of content we have taken into ourselves. Then after that, we need to now begin to live that new lifestyle that is going to channel us to. And I like the fact that she talked about the fact that we need to begin to do more of research. She's a researcher, she's an inventor.
Yes.
And she really motivates. This is the kind of feminist I want to be talking about, not the one that just says rubbish on social media. Balanced family, balanced career life. No, beautiful. I think it's something we need to learn. All these things actually affects our health too. So it's very important for us to actually take our health serious at this particular time. And it's very important as a country, Nigeria, we need to be very serious with what the citizens. I don't know how you have a government that is not concerned about
Your
what
health.
the citizens are taking.
What they consume
What
as
they consume,
citizens.
their
yes.
health, their when citizens are healthy, they are productive. When they are healthy, they can think straight. When they are healthy, they can function properly. Even you as a government will function properly. The anger that many Nigerians are having that is making them just any small thing like this, they don't change that for you. It's lack of good health. Let's be truthful with ourselves. So please be jealous with your health. Be
Yes,
jealous.
very, very
Be
jealous.
selfish with it.
Yes.
Pamper your kidney this particular period. Give it the best thing that you can give it at this particular time. And I think that's the best bet you can have this period. And like she said, which I will end with, drink water and mind your
business.
Thank you very much. Till we meet tomorrow on Daybreak Africa, my name still remains Ikhonede Joshua Yodeji.
And my name remains Miracle Odunayo.
Bye, guys.